Okay, so before we begin, no, I cannot adjust my sound. Okay? I can't help you. I'm not Geek Squad at the Best Buy. I can't. This is my phone. This is not a computer and all that. No, I can't. I'm trying to find a reading. Let's do AOC and Pelosi Nim. I'll try not to shuffle so close to. I moved the phone all the way back. It's like at the edge of the table now. Because what happened in the other videos is the cards are closer to the microphone, so it's louder. And I'm not gonna not shuffle, so it's just gonna have to be loud. I don't know how to fix that for you. You can change the settings in your phone acoustics, like you can do. Anyway, I'm not going into all that. If you can't hear, you can't hear. I can't help you. When I first started my channel, I had enough of that. Like, I can't hear. Okay, I can't help you. Like, I know it's loud. That's why I moved it, but that's all I can do. So AOC, Nancy Pelosi, Ilhan Omar, and oh Lord, the other two. There's another two. Like AOC's gang, the new guard versus the old guard versus the new blood is what I called it once. Like they need each other. I know, because I'm not a Nancy Pelosi fan at all. I don't think she's even a Democrat. Like, she doesn't act like one. But that's just me personally. I'm an AOC fan. I love AOC. I think she's great for the party. But she does need the wisdom. Is that the star? Where's the camera? See, I don't know how to do this right now. Is that the star? Yes, it is. So that's the healing. This is what's on the bottom. So they need each other. One more. And so what I'm doing, what I have been doing, I used to pull 13 cards. 13 is my favorite number, but it just coincidentally, that's what the reading called for. But I pulled another one. This is the outcome card, the Wheel of Fortune. And I have two outcome cards because the reading usually has a immediate future and a distant future. So I don't do those anymore. So I just pull two outcome cards because they sort of will explain each other. What is this? So, AOC and Pelosi. Is this the beginnings of a horrible relationship? Is this just a misunderstanding? Is this just ideological differences that cannot be overlooked? Well, there's the work. So 8 of Pentacles is what we start out with. This is all about the Congress. This is work. Now you can't see the cards, can you? This is why I do it like this. People hate it like this because this is not letterbox. Whatever. Not letterbox. What do you call it? Widescreen? Wide shot? Hell, I don't know. This. I ain't moving it no more. I'm just going to do it like this. That's it. Now. Princess of Swords. I did a reading earlier about this, and my energy was at a 0, so I just stopped. But this came up. This is the Page of Swords. This is seen, now, if you ever get in a personal reading and you're talking about your children or you're talking about your family, and you get this is like an unruly child or a child with behavioral issues. So it's interesting that we just get the work card and then the freshman class sort of behavioral issues. And here's what the behavioral issues actually are. They're not falling in line with the status quo, which is why I like them, because they're pushing back on that which has always existed. The way of government as usual is something that needs to change. And this is where they come in. And then Joe Biden is like, well, they're out of control. Well, he didn't say out of control, but I'm paraphrasing. He said they're out of control. And Donald Trump is Donald Trump. So anyway. And then Nancy Pelosi is like, well, they all I got is 4 votes. No, actually, all they didn't get was 4 votes. They got a lot more. But anyway. So they have a very rocky relationship because they're sort of seen as this unruly bunch. Like, and I fear for their future because I don't want them to be gerrymandered. I don't want them to be ousted by their own party. Strength. What? Surround strength? Ooh, the tower. This is what I'm saying, though. They are trying to break the system as it is. Now, here would be your Nancy Pelosi. 6 of Cups and Ace of Cups. The past and the new emotion, the new energy, the new relationships. So, the nostalgia of the old, the way of doing things, you can bring new people in, but they have to go about the old way. This is about the past. So you can bring in the new. You can be that guy from Alabama, Roy Jones or something like, I don't know, I think the other guy was Roy Jones. Anyway, you know what I mean, that guy. But he's not really liberal. He sort of falls in line with the rest of Congress or the Pelosi class. So bring in the new people, but they must act the old way. And then you get the AOCs and the Ilhan Omars come in, and they're seen as aggressive in breaking the system. Good. It doesn't work. But that's just me personally, so take it or leave it. Ace of Pentacles is in the fear. So this is the money card or the offerings card. This is, hey, here's what we think you should do. Here's what we think you should have. Here's how we think you should go about this. The advice card, maybe even. And the hopes is the magician, the skills, the know-how, the ability. AOC has got a long way to go. She doesn't have the knowledge or the breadth of knowledge of a Nancy Pelosi, but she's in her 20s or early 30s or something like that. So she'll get there. But Nancy Pelosi and people like her are needed. I know that people have their differences with her, and I do too, and that's just a personal thing. But knowledge and the how-to is needed. The how-to is not something that Ilhan Omar and the AOCs have just yet. Because this is why they're trying to break the system. Because it's a web. It's interconnected with people who operate the same, and they're trying to break that up. They have the strength to do it, though, because this country is more liberal than it is anything else. So they're trying to break that system of, if you want to get things done, you have to go through these avenues to do it. You have to grease some palms. You have to kiss some behinds. You have to do, and they don't want to do that because that's too much quid pro quo. And this is how you get a corrupt government. They have the strength to change it. The strength to change it lies in the voter. Queen of Pentacles. This is the money woman. This is, I got this card earlier too. Behind the money woman is the Fool. Jeez-o-loo. These are the exact 2 cards in the exact same position. I got the established woman, and then I got the fresh new idea. So your Pelosi and your AOC in the gang coming right behind her. So they're at odds, but they need each other. You need the fresh ideas, and you need the know-how. The Hermit. This is your word of warning. That is I got that too last time. But that is like your flashing light word of warning. Like more than anything. Because what you do not want is to be isolated. Because this is how they will attempt to take your job from you, is with this isolation. Picked out to be picked on, is what I call it. But the new action is in your word of solace, so the world is behind you with the Ace of Wands, and then you end up with Justice and the Wheel of Fortune. So good luck. The government will be on your side. And this is also a card of repeating, because you know it's always a wheel, and it just means it goes in circles. So this is a card of repeating time repeating. So the Nancy Pelosi's and the AOC's, this is just an episode in what will become our government. This has always existed. People will always challenge, and then people will always lose, and then people will always win. And so this is inevitable. This is a cycle. This is repeating. It's never ending. Also like a wheel. So what we have right now is just them two at odds. This was not really a revelation because we knew this already. But I think the most important thing that came out of this is beware of the hermit. Do not let them single you out. What has happened, or what I said would happen, has happened, is that, and we didn't need the cards to even tell us that Ocasio-Cortez would be singled out by the older white men of the other party, and that has happened, because, you know, now they say she's a racist, and she's a this, and she's a that, and, you know, so Fox News just loves to talk about her. She presided over the House for like a little brief closing session or something. And in the comments, they just had a field day, you know, talking all kinds of crap about her. So I love it. Picked out to be picked on. Beware of the hermit. This does raise your station, however, because the more they fight against you, the more people want to vote for you because, you know, nobody barks at or the dog doesn't bark at a parked car, as they say. So this is good. For right now. I believe that Pelosi's out anyway. I think she's going to retire. I believe that's what she said, not what came out in the reading or nothing. Is that this is her last go round, so we'll see what becomes of the Congress after this.